Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Wednesday Wisdom. My name is JB Hilliard, and these are short video snippets designed to answer questions that you may have about estate planning or probate. And I'm a little late getting this week's video out, but bear with me. I'm actually continuing from the video discussion from last time where I talked about I trust that you will. And that was, in essence, my suggestion that even if you have a trust in place and you have transferred property into that trust as trust assets, that you may still want to do a will as a catch-all for anything that you may have forgotten to transfer into the trust, or for anything that happens after you pass away that comes into the name of the estate. And so, case in point, I recently met with a couple that one of the spouses did not realize that her name was on a deed from a house that the parent owned, that left the quick claim deeded the property to the surviving children. And so my client and her siblings are now on title to this property that she thought was still in the parent's name. And so that's a very good example of what I'm talking about when I say, even if you have a trust, it's always a good thing to have a will to include any kind of residuary provision where you say anything that's left over, basically anything that's not in the trust, anything that I have forgotten about, this is how I want that property or those assets distributed. It can never hurt. But it can always help when you have a situation like this where you didn't even know you had this property sitting out here somewhere. Or maybe you inherited some property in another state that you didn't find out about until after your passing. So now that you've identified that catch-all, then your estate administrator, your executor of your will, or your trustee of your trust can move forward in the appropriate manner to get that other property into the hands of the beneficiaries that you would want to have that property. So I said all that almost in one big breath, but I hope it makes sense for you. And if not, tune in for some future Wednesday Wisdoms where I'm sure we'll circle back around to this in another example in some form or fashion. So with that said, as always, I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.